C&C Partners, we have a three-phase process. Phase one is a preliminary study, phase two is the design development, and phase three is the construction itself. In the phase one, the preliminary study, it's something that we started using, got around 1994, and it was the part of the process where we would interview with somebody about wanting to learn about the design build process. And they had the questions that they knew to ask, time, money, process, those questions. There's many questions that they didn't know to ask, and there's a lot of information that they need to learn before they can make an informed decision to say, you know what, I'd like to go with this firm. For example, can this firm design the type of home that I'm asking to have designed? Is this individual, which would be me in this case, somebody that I feel comfortable working with for we're together for quite a while? In the phase one process, we start with the homeowner's requirements. We give them a document titled a home design program, and it asks all the questions about the house, from the mud room to the private attic for kids' playroom, to the elevator, to the outdoor patio, to something in the basement. But it covers every room in the house, and when the home design program is completed, and I review it, I get a good education of what their written wants and needs are. From that information, I then go ahead and generate a preliminary budget range. For the budget is always very, very important to every single client. So this budget will say, okay, the project's going to be $1.5 million to $2 million. That information allows the potential client to say, you know what, let's move forward. So step two is the design research, where we start to analyze the site, go to City Hall, explain to them what the client wants with their home design program, and get an okay from the city to say, yes, these are the parameters of what you can design the home to be. Step three is the preliminary design. This is where the process starts to get fun, for we're starting to look at actual three-dimensional designs, sketches that show the client what their written guidelines actually look like in drawn form. And this is where the homeowners start taking ownership, start making changes, start having fun with the process. We meet 5 to 10 times to get it to the point where the project is close to 100% design. We then, in step four, we put the designs aside and we turn our attention to the budget. And now we take the drawings that we did and we do a takeoff, linear footage of cabinetry, the number of windows, the number of doors, etc., to get an actual line item budget. And then the budget in step four, coupled with the drawings in step three, put together, create a package for step five, which is our construction financing. This is where we might work with a construction lender like Arroyo Consultants, and we give them the package, and then they can put together a good faith estimate to the client. So they now know at the end of phase one what the project's going to look like, what it's going to cost, preliminary approval from City Hall, and preliminary approval from their bank. And so now they have all the information to make an informed decision. And then they can say, you know what, let's go ahead with this project. Let's go into phase two. Phase two is the design development, beginning with step six, which is the part of getting into the plans, doing the architectural details, the way the railing looks, the way that the windows look, the way that the trim around the doors look. Step seven, which is very, very important, is the custom selections. This is where they work with our interior designer, who will put together a list, a customized list of what their selections in their homes are, with due dates. And so, not to get the clients overwhelmed, we provide this service to allow the interior designer to offer assistance to whatever degree they need to help making selections. So they might go to Ferguson's plumbing supplies to take a look at all their plumbing fixtures. Back at step four, we created a budget, and we said that they got this much money to spend in that bathroom. In step seven, the interior designer takes that document, goes shopping, and makes sure that they stay in budget, and also is considering that the way that the shower door will look, and the doorknobs, and the tile, and the counter, and the mirrors, and the light fixtures so everything looks together. So that's step 7. Step 8 is where we start to bring in the structural engineers, the landscape architect, and we start finalizing the plans to get the plans to be 100% complete. When they are, we go to step 9, which is the bidding, and this is where we do the competitive bidding. So we take our completed plans, we send them out to 2 plumbers, 3 electricians, and we invite the various subcontractors to submit bids, competitive bids, and then at the end of our collecting of those, we will knit together the budget of the awarded subcontractor that we select, and then what our goal is to have that pricing match what we proposed in step 4 when we came up with the in-house construction budget to communicate a price. Step 10 is the permitting process, where we take these completed plans, submit them to City Hall, go through the various departments like the building department, planning department, and have the plans reviewed by the plan checkers to give us approval. And so at the end of phase 2, we have a complete set of architectural plans, completely engineered. We have a good degree of the selections understood. We have the building permit processed, and the bidding complete, and the construction budget done. Phase 3 is the construction. Pre-construction, before we get started, we're a firm that has all of the required and not required insurances. For example, you're not required to have a general liability policy, but we have that. You're required to have course of construction insurance. We have that. And so we make sure that all the insurances are put in place, have the owners listed as additionally insured before we continue with the construction process. In step 7, we identified selections. Well, now in step 11, we start to make those early purchases, those lead time items that help keep us on track and have a more expedited construction process than running into delays. There's also, during the pre-construction, we start to collect lien releases from the various subcontractors that we start to let out the work to make sure that the clients end up with the lien releases, which is a very important California contractual requirement for anybody hiring a contractor. Step 12, the actual construction itself, we have a supervisor assigned to every single project that we do. They're there in the beginning, they close at the beginning of the morning, they close the job site at the end, but they're there basically to supervise the various trades that come and go and make sure that they're getting what they need so they can get the job done and stay on schedule. We have the various inspections that happen throughout the project. Let's say it's a 12-month project. There could be, 20 plus or minus inspections. Our supervisors handle those, and we handle those in-house. The clients have nothing to do with that. And then, of course, we ensure the quality control of the home. And we have a process where the supervisors need to make sure there's a checklist of a certain standard of care that we want to have on each one of those trades. So, example, the finish carpenter or the cabinet maker, in order for them to be signed off and get paid for the project. Design and build partnership. In C&C Partners, we have the in-house design and the in-house construction crew. So we're all constantly in collaboration with regards to having structured meetings to talk about what the design intent is and to answer the questions as quick as possible, or handling any field details that the construction team needs to make sure that progress is always going. So the benefit of having the in-house design team that's there at your beck and call when you need it is a strong benefit for the time consideration. The homeowner's participation is key. There's some firms that would just like to say, we'll call you when the project's done and give you the keys. We wouldn't feel comfortable with that. We want to make sure that our clients are part of the process and that we make the process, present the process in a very structured format that they understand it, they feel comfortable, they can do what they do every day during their life, their job, their family, whatever so they don't get derailed during the construction process in their regular life We take care of the structure. We make sure that the process is flowing correctly, but we do include them in there, and part of the success is having them come to a weekly standard meeting so they can observe on the way that the house is being built, and that their understanding, their intentions of what they want their home to look like is being met. If it's not, for at any time, they can send up a red flag, and the design team's right there. We'll figure out what it is, and we'll make sure that we get it right back on track. Post-construction, the move-in possession process, we have a process where we have a home orientation where the homeowners come and get a tour of the whole house, find out how everything works, for example, the forced air unit or the refrigerator or the different mechanical equipments of the home. They're giving all their warranty packages for all the items in the house, for example, the roofing, the gutters, and contractually we stay with the homeowner for a year. So if there's anything that needs to be done, we're there to take care of it, because a home will go through a little bit of a settlement process over a 12-month period. And so at the end of the 12 months, we ask them to call us, and at that time we put together a crew that goes in, takes care of a little of the separation cracks and the paints and the things like that, and even where the kids scuffed up the house. And so we try to make the house look new again. And that there is the end of phase 3. So the phase 3 process is the supervised construction, educating the clients all the way through the process, and helping them make decisions and selections in a timely manner so we can perform our project in a timely manner. And that's the 15 steps.